Hello everyone, it is time to recap UFC Fight Night Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze 2, which this card on paper was absolute arse, but it did honestly deliver better than what was expected, especially through the early part of this card. The women's fight in particular absolutely delivered, and leading up we did have some pretty good men's fights as well. And we're going to kick it off with the main event, which is obviously Marvin versus Roman Dolidze, which was a little bit of a snooze fest. I will say it wasn't too bad because there was a lot of output, because neither of these fuckers are getting knocked out because their chins are just ridiculous. Massive heads on both of them, and they are just not going anywhere. And look, the output overall was good, pretty back and forth. I honestly had it 48-47 for Dolidze. Didn't think it was a 49-46. Marvin did outland him more so in the second round and was just looking a bit more active with pressure. But I mean, third round was pretty much a swing. Dolidze was just looking a bit better with the strikes that he was actually following through with. And then the championship rounds, Dolidze carried through very well. Got a spinning back fist in there, spinning elbow. My God, like, he honestly looked very good, especially cardio-wise compared to Vettori. Vettori's had a lot more 5-round experience in comparison to him, and Dolidze was the one that looked fresher. Now, obviously, Dolidze's been a bit more active, and Marvin's been out for a while. But Marvin, come on, man, just remember your cup. Like, it's just classic Marvin Vettori, whether it's the shorts on backwards, whether it's losing the fucking cup. Oh, man. Come on. Like, he did a pretty good job in the early rounds, and he did actually wobble Roman Dolidze pretty well within the middle of the fight, but Dolidze was just in very good shape that I was not expecting, and he used the heavier volume, especially in those championship rounds, and he ultimately did swing the fight. I mean, Marvin Vettori, he was trying a different kind of avenue. I mean, he wasn't like the full testosterone-driven, full bull-like aggressive guy that he usually is. He was more calm, composed. That was happening through the face-offs, through the walkout, pretty much through the whole fight, and that's where the issue was. He was more stagnant in those championship rounds. His gas tank looked good, but he just wasn't actually forward pressuring. He wasn't very aggressive, and yeah, that cinder block head was not getting taken out. So ultimately, Roman Dolidze carrying through, especially with that cardio at his age. The guy definitely deserved the win, and he's called out Israel Adesanya, and he's called out Robert Whittaker. Is he going to get either of them? Probably not. Realistically, might possibly get Izzy, but I mean, I think he should be fighting Brendan Allen next. Obviously, he used no wrestling in this matchup, but that is his base. And Brendan Allen, man, the guy needs to bounce back from a win, which a win against Roman Dolidze should be in his hands. And if he fucks that up, then, you know, he's going to be spiraling a bit. And Roman Dolidze, if he can beat Brendan Allen, I mean, he's a guy in front of him. He's just a guy in front of him. He can beat him, especially if it comes to any ground game work, and he can actually just out-transition him there. Then Roman's got a good chance moving up as well. Now, for Marvin Vettori, I think that he should fight the winner of Renier de Ridder and Bo Nickel, who I do believe Renier de Ridder is going to be able to get that one done and do a little bit of fraud checking there. And I think RDR versus Marvin Vettori, especially Vettori 9-0 with submissions on that ground, we never know. And RDR being that high caliber of a ground game artist could possibly be the first one to finish Marvin Vettori on the ground. So definitely keen to see those matchups. Now, looking at the Fight of the Night award, got to give it to Andre Lima versus Daniel Barez. As I predicted, these guys with the striking combinations that they would throw at each other with the durability of Barez as well, this was just going to be a great fight. And man, Andre Lima, this kid is really good. Fantastic leg kicks to open up. Great switch stance abilities, especially that ability to land his power shot off switching stance, especially that power left. Just beautiful, especially early on, more so in that first round. And these guys were just like trading body hooks constantly. The boxing was on display from both of them. Barez, for 36 years old at flyweight, man, the guy is durable. He's got a lot of heart, because through the second and third round, Andre Lima was putting it on him. Like, insane elbows around the guard, against the cage. Like, just ridiculous. And now, I mean, we saw him literally just destroy Santos with the wrestling, and now we get to see him with his submission-based game. He's just growing and growing. He's becoming more and more of a threat every single time, and so you should, but this is evident. I mean, his arsenal is even deeper now. Got the rear naked choke in the 3rd round, the first one that he has ever gotten, first submission finish of his career. He's just looking so dangerous. And I mean, especially as well, credit to him for making weight, because the guy is a huge flyweight. So very big credit there for him. I was a bit worried about him actually making it. Now, with him being so damn dangerous, he needs a top 15 shot. I think you either give him Bruno Silva just to see that power equalizer there, and Bruno Silva isn't exactly any form of slouch on the ground, or you give him a guy like Tim Elliott, who has a lot of experience there. He's an unorthodox style fighter with the wrestling base there, which could really test Lima's wrestling there too. There's options there for him, but the guy seriously needs a top 15 at this point. He is looking absolutely ridiculous. Now, looking at our upset of the night, Musasa absolutely cooked it here. He missed weight for starters. Then Carlos Vera, the multi-killer, goes out there, head kicks him, and then chokes him out. As a -700 favorite Musasa was, Vera, biggest underdog of the card, looked absolutely fantastic at 36 years old. That Taekwondo base that he does have came in absolutely clutch. Timed his strikes, the spinning wheel kick, as well as this head kick through his combination to perfection. I mean, absolutely wrecked him. And I mean, Musasa, ultimately, through this fight, I mean, on a technical standpoint, he deserved it, because his hands were low the entire time, and it was literally just a matter of time within that before he got caught, because he was getting caught here and there leading up to that shot, which dropped him like a sack of potatoes. Absolutely killed everyone's multis, but as the biggest dog of the night, you just can't be mad about it. Now, looking at the finish of the night, gotta give it to Priscila Cachoeira, who I will say is still allergic to using the fucking jab, but the reach advantage and the build advantage and just the aggressiveness overall was just so evident in this matchup. Josiane, she needs to like move down in weight if she can. I know she's like a muscle nugget, just a ball, but if she can, she really needs to consider it, because I mean, just the reach disadvantage there and just the striking that she was producing. I mean, the uppercut was just there the whole entire time. I mean, Michael Bisping was literally screaming out like, you're literally just dipping your head every single time you are throwing a strike. And Priscila Cachoeira, uppercut straight on the chin, dropped her like a sack of shit. Got it fantastically well. And she also used leading up to that, I mean, brutal knees, just a really good striking with the two, but she really, if she's going to move forward, she really needs to utilize the jab a lot more. Now, I think it's time for her to fight someone in that top 15 in bantamweight, because it's pretty shallow. Fight someone like Chelsea Chandler. I think she can take out Chelsea Chandler. Or possibly Nora Cornell. Nora Cornell is definitely more of a striking matchup that's going to be more difficult for her, and that's going to be a true test to see if she's got the longevity there. So I definitely think that that could be the matchup to make, but can't go past this without mentioning Carli Judice, the other girl who kicked off this card that absolutely just annihilated her opponent. Looked fantastic with her striking arsenal. Kickboxing looked good. Distance management looked good as well. Mixed up her tools fantastically well. And then a head kick straight to the dome. Bang, gone. Absolutely fantastic performance from both of these girls. Might be hard to bet them for a decision from now on if we're looking at fights like these. Now, looking at our fighter to watch and our performance of the night, it is none other than Kevin Vallejos. Vallejos looked absolutely fantastic. I think that's what everyone was expecting. Choi, you know, he was kind of a setup for him, but Choi is still no slouch when it comes to the striking and his aggressiveness and his ability to actually forward pressure. But Vallejos was taking absolutely fucking none of it. He just slipped under the right hand perfectly, overhand right to check it, straight on the chin. Beautiful timing, beautiful finish. The guy is a fucking problem. He, even though he's like 22, 23 years old, he's going to be moving up, because Choi like wasn't even that low in the world rankings anyway. So he's going to be moving up against you guys like your Jack Jenkinses and your, you know, Julian Roses and stuff like that. He could possibly fight either of those guys. Wouldn't have any problem with that. And he's going to give them both trouble. Or he could fight Myron Santos. Could fight Myron Santos after that absolute blunder he had at UFC 313. And I mean, if Myron's going to be able to beat this guy, the hype train that he is, then he can redeem himself. So that, with the striking matchup between the kickboxing and the boxing of those two prospects, yeah, sign me up. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's MMA recap, and I hope you enjoyed the card. Now, if you want to see more MMA-based content, definitely just check out the video on the screen, and please like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way for the channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and I will catch you in the next one.